Welcome to Respect the Game.
Welcome to ONV, Respect the Game podcast. How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
This is a great day. We got a great show we're finna have. I want to thank the panel for being here. I want to thank our guests, awesome young man that I had the privilege of knowing way back when he was a young person. Let's get this ball going. How's everybody doing today?
All right.
We're doing good, man. Got the Olympics going on.
Yeah, got the Olympics going on.
Yeah. Hey, my first question, you said you knew him when he was a young man. I want to know when this mug was ever a young man. You tell me that one. Hey, I'm going to give you the prize for today when he was ever a young man.
Well,
I tried to change his diapers, but he got his own diaper change.
You was the only one, man. You was one of the few I connected with, though, when I was knuckleheaded like that, though, for real, seriously.
Hey, we want to welcome Brice Miles to the show tonight, man. This is our special guest today. Like Jay said, you know, he been around. He been a young old man all this time, you know, before his time. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man.
Yes, sir.
I actually feel super grateful to be here, to be honest.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
I love
sir.
these platforms. So
Yeah. We're gonna get started, and we're just gonna let you introduce yourself and give us a rundown so we could get started. Yeah. A little background.
Right. Well, once again, I'm Brice Miles. Owner of True Fit Sport and Fitness. That's what I do now. I train athletes. I train men also. My passion is training young athletes. I also president of Terrence Miles Youth Initiative, which I'm very proud to have, which is probably one of my most prized things that I do out of anything I do.
Yes.
Created that in memory of my cousin Terrence Miles, obviously, but just to continue the legacy he had. We both had similar visions, similar passions, similar purposes.
Yeah.
So once he passed away, I figured, you know, let me find a way to elevate this and continue it going. So that's where a lot of my time goes to, aside from the True Fit, obviously aside from my family too.
Yeah.
Got a wonderful wife now, twin girls that are 5 years old.
Nice. Twins. That's dope.
Yeah, my son, 10 years old, man, who I've always, my entire life, I wanted a boy, and
you got both.
I got one first, and it's like literally life for me, man. So I spend a lot of time with him too, you know, outside of just the training aspect with him. We're big into sports together. That's one of our connector pieces.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, I know I yearned growing up for, you know, to have that in-home father or somebody that I could always lean on and grow from. So I strive and thrive to be that for my son, man. And it energizes me big time.
Before we get started, I just want to say I've seen you guys at a tournament, and seen your son was handling that rock. And that reminded me, I said, ooh, is that Brice out there? I said, oh my God. His mannerism, you know, everything that he did just reminded me of you as far as that leadership. I was like, oh my goodness, man, that's something different.
Yes, bro. I actually, man, I didn't realistically and honestly, I didn't notice that until people start saying that, like literally the way my son walked. And I think that's just God, literally God way, man. I yearned for that big time growing up, and I didn't have that like I want. No, I love my pops. No knock, I ain't knocking him, but I just didn't have that. So when I know, you know, a lot of stuff happened in the community or in society, period, because of lack thereof. You know, father figures in the crib or just father figures around, man. So I think that's just rubbing off, man. The handle stuff we work on the handle.
Hey, so I'm gonna say you did a beautiful job, man, because his mannerism. I mean, just the beginning, but his mannerism and everything on the court, win or lose, he was just there doing his thing. Right. I know we're here to talk about you, man.
The game podcast, he was doing all that.
He was doing it all, you know. And I want him to hear it. Just as well as you hear it, you know, he represented really well, you know, for the Miles.
Good, I'm glad to hear that, man. Because I'd always tell him too, man. It's more important, like who you are than what you can do.
Yeah.
So he understand that big time.
So you know, and saying that real quick, I know everybody else want to get in on this conversation because my guy over there is
I'm itching.
But you know, we talk about being in the community and how we, you know, want to do the best has for not just our family, but for our community as well. With your foundation and money vision and everything, man, can you kind of like bring that up to date as far as like what you're doing?
We do, yeah. So we got two like front line or two like huge things that we do with them. We have one that's called exposure experiences, and it's exactly what it sounds like, where we expose them to different stuff, different cultures, atmospheres, different ethnicities. We take them just different places where they can see stuff. We use a quote in there say, "You can't be what you can't see."
Exactly.
So we take them. We took them out to sweet cars and let them see that. Some of them cats only seen Chevys on Fords, so that's all they got aspirations for. So I took them out there and let them see Ferraris and Vets, and so they can have there's a different lifestyle that aligns with having those type of cars opposed to having them. So took them to the country club, let them see fine dining. They gave us a tour, taught us about how to eat and what forks and knives to use. Nice. We went skiing. It was my first time going skiing, so we took 13 boys up and took them on a ski trip there.
Something different, ain't it?
Something different. Yeah. But everybody loved it. And none of them, they always thought it was a different type of people sport until you get out there, and we love it too. So
and it's okay to think like that.
Yeah, until you get out there. Yeah. And then we have another one that's called EOM. It's actually Exercise Our Minds. It's group counseling. That was my way of doing it without having to do all the paperwork and the legality stuff. So we use a licensed therapist. We use my therapist, Raphael Bosley. And we do just that. We do group counseling with the boys, man. And another thing we say is we get every boy to cry. Yeah. Like I get every boy in our group, they've broke down and let stuff out that's been in that could cause to get in trouble in school, my attitude in practice, like all of that stuff that just compound from holding stuff in. That's what that EOM is about, man. So we have those, every exposure experience. We're going to Gatlinburg. We take them to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for 4 days in November. And every one we do, no matter where we go, we got to have an Exercise Our Mind session. We have them here in town in person. But when we're out of town, we always sit down one of those days, man, and make sure we kind of just decompress with everything else. While we enjoying it, while we learning, while we experiencing, I still want to make sure that they emptying out while they out there so they can go back home filled up with something else.
Man, that's lovely.
That is, man.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to know more about the Terrence Miles Youth.
Yeah.
Like, what is it exactly? Is you doing the same thing that you doing at True Fit? Or
yeah, that's what that was. That's what he's saying. That's the Terrence Miles Youth Initiative.
Okay,
So we got 15 boys in that right now. So 15 active boys.
Is it only for guys? Like
it is now. It is only for young men right now, man. Okay. Primarily young men of color. But this is our third year. Okay. This will be our third year now, actually, just kind of being 501c3 and just kind of making sure it was official. We've been doing frontline work for years, but, I wanted to make sure that we did it official so I can make sure they're not the exact reason we're doing it. They don't have to get the back end of stuff. I want y'all to get the best of the best. So in order to do that, I had to go through the right process and make sure. So now that we've taken care of all that stuff, I'm able to do some dope stuff with it, man. So.
All that stuff that you're doing, I mean, it's great. You was talking, when you was talking earlier about him and his relationship with his son, I mean, honestly, that's no bigger testimony than you could ever have. And that's the biggest you're going to have. I don't care how many kids you work with, people look at your son. And however he turns out, whether on the court, off the court. I mean, and again, like you say, it's all good. His thing is compliments. So again, that's a feather in your cap. Like, man, you did a great job. And that's cool. When did you decide that you wanted to get off into all this that you're doing? Because I remember when you first graduated from tech, you had a degree in what you wanted to, or you wasn't sure what you wanted to do, but you had a degree. You kind of knew what kind of line you wanted to let y'all know. He called me, hey, when I want to do what you do. I said, you want to do what I do? He said, I said, man, what you mean? What's your degree in?
You do a lot.
He just like, no, I'm just man, the way you carry yourself. So when you talk about see it, you can be what you see. I mean, honestly, that's what I was like. Okay, so he literally came up to my job, just came up, wanted to sit, just wanted to talk, wanted to see. He said, all I know is you dress nice, you got to get nice car. I want that, And so now that I hear he done put a program in place, that's awesome. I mean, what clicked? How did you get off of it?
I mean, I don't even know if I can take credit for I sat down and master planned it out, man. I know that was like God stuff. I know that was God given. That was just something that I sit and searched for. Like, it ain't nothing that I was like, boom, I got this right away. But while you saying all that, Jay, like literally coming up, I didn't know it. In hindsight, I know it, but I was inspired. Like seeing you do that, I was inspired. I was inspired seeing how you were with money, how you had money inspired. But that's what made me want to do it. It's like my inspirations were just deep down. I just didn't know how to, I didn't have the tools to pull it out and then make it an action or make it a plan or make it a business or, but like seeing you, now I think about it, it's like you was working with kids. You was when I was getting in trouble at Harding, you once again, you was one of the ones I was connected with. I couldn't talk to many people because there was no knock, but they just, everybody couldn't understand that type of mind. I was lost. I just wanted to find myself. I wanted to be like important, which you erase that. You say, I wanted purpose. Like I was looking for purpose, and it looked like Jay had purpose. Now I know that. I didn't know that before, but like you got purpose. You've been doing this your whole life. I've seen you working with kids and helping people your whole life. And when I seen that, that just was attractive to me. Anything I tried in that gray area was me trying to find myself. Like that wasn't who I am. I know this is who I am because that's what was attractive. That other stuff I may have been dibbling dabbling wasn't attractive. I just wanted to see what it was about. Like that's exactly where it came. I think that's just God put that on me. Once I graduated and I started working at some factories and I was doing interns and stuff while I was working there, but I'm like, man, that ain't really my style. I don't just want to go somewhere and make a lot of money and then hate life. You know what I mean?
That was that journey. You know, that you took and you know, all around the place and stuff. And I remember when I came out to your spot and you was having your first function 4.5 years ago, and like we was talking earlier, man, I had tears in my eyes, man, about that little spot you had, but it seems so huge. And you know, we was talking about we don't need the Memorial Coliseum not to be successful and give back to our people. And I think, man, I was like, man, I love that dude. I love what he brought to the table. Now I was mad at you.
What? Not
Let me get this out. I was mad at you when you stopped playing basketball.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Because
thought you was gonna go overseas.
You thought I was gonna go. Yeah, I thought he was going overseas and just keep doing the things because he was magic on the basketball court. One of the best point guards in the city at the time and stuff. So just to throw that out. But I was just so happy, man, to see you doing great things. And you was just being normal. You was just being you. And the people around you was loving you and was supporting you. That was one of the biggest things that I seen in that little space out there, man. It was just a beautiful sight.
That felt good too.
Yeah.
And I feel what you're saying. Everything we said this earlier.
Yeah.
Everything impactful ain't gotta be big, and everything that's big ain't necessarily impactful.
Right.
So I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I like it, but I don't. I'm not. There's no knock at having something at the Memorial Coliseum or whatever them big venues are, but it's like I don't need that to be impactful.
Right.
You could come over there to 4119 North Clinton. I'll give you the most impact you've had in a week. I guarantee it.
Hey, and honestly, I mean, truth be told, it's all relative. You said little space. That building is huge. That's the Taj Mahal. I don't walk in there. I mean, I'm just proud of him. I know he was in a situation where it's a bad deal. And to be able to find that spot and have to call his own, I'm like,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's awesome. He got everything he needs. You know, he got working out the little kids. I know grown folks going on. They got their memberships. There's always something. You know, I go over there and just shoot the stuff. Sometimes. You know, because hey, it's action up here like that, like you said.
Yeah. I'm grateful for them stop throughs too, because them fuel some stories that I can feed off to them kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
And then the other thing I speak to again, and the thing I love about Fort Wayne, and I know a lot of people, and people say, oh, you know this person, that person, but then there's people that you know, and there's people that you know.
Yeah.
So when it comes time to get a recommendation or somebody, like if somebody say, hey, and he'll tell you, they come over, hey, what you know about Brice Miles?
Yeah.
He want to work on my son. He want to work on my daughter. Blah blah blah. And I can look him in the eye and say, yeah, that's somebody I know. Yeah. You can send him over there, I trust him. You send your daughter over there, I trust him. Emphatically. And they know, I see him in passing. No, I'm vouching. I'm vouching. And he hasn't done anything, not that it's about me or whatever, to let me down. But I say that he hasn't done anything to let anybody down. Nothing but positivity. The fact to see you, not even just working with the kids and everything, man. The fact you talk about, hey, 2 daughters, a son, a wife, you know, family man, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and again, speak to you. You done touched on it. Give people a background of where you was at in high school. You kind of touched on it because you know, again, us that know you like to know that you sat down here. You talking to businessman, a husband, I mean a father. Come on, you know, speak to that. Let people know a little bit about what you.
So I was like going into eighth, so kind of speed through going into eighth grade, like literally from eighth or going into my first year in high school, my freshman year. I was going in there on house arrest from doing a drive-by shooting with one of my boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
On some cats that we really didn't even have no real beef with. I was dibbling and dabbling.
Yeah.
Almost cost me everything.
Right.
Dibbling and dabbling. I did get caught and had to go through some things, but like nobody got shot, nobody got killed. So that was God's way of like, I'm giving you a pass right here. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with that first, still just trying to figure stuff out my freshman year. I played ball. I was actually on varsity before all these freshmen was on varsity. Like it wasn't no freshmen when I was there. It was me, I think, and Bear. You know what I'm saying? But they gave me that opportunity, and you know, I believe that's because they seen something in me. But I was still knucklehead. I was trying to figure stuff out. So I ended up getting, you know, got through the season and whatnot. But I got kicked out of school and they didn't because of the click thing, and I ended up not being able. I didn't go to school my sophomore year in high school.
Wow.
At all.
Wow.
So I graduated high school in 3 years, and I had to obviously go to Anthis after to make up for those credits, but literally freshman, junior, and senior year. So got kicked out of there just from the clique thing, getting in school, getting in scuffles and all of this stuff, man. Teachers loved me, to be honest, man, but I was still lost, so I ain't know, you know, still reaching out, trying to find stuff. So I switched school, still did the gang thing or clique thing for a bit. Something just turned. I'm not even sure, to be honest, what turned. And when I switched schools and went to Wayne, I was just solo. I did everything solo. I had to get away from people. I had to delete some things. I had to subtract some things for things to add up for me, for real. So once I went to Wayne, man, I got away. I did stuff by myself, and I focused on, like, literally trying to become a better version of myself. And I don't even know, I still don't know what I was searching for.
It could have been that year out, maybe.
It could have been.
You think about
but I also realized I ain't no gangster. I ain't want to do that. And I was trying to be a gangster. I was like, that ain't me. Like, when I learned you don't get to cut it off, like, you got to be gangster all that ain't what I'm cool. That ain't what I, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see.
So I ended up going to Wayne after my my junior year, went to Wayne, led the state in assists, then. Top something in the state. I can't remember that number either. Led it again, like I think I was second or third my senior year at Wayne, and that's when I just started to understand, you know what I'm saying? I separated myself from the guys. Not that they was, you know how it is. You with the bad crowd, you'll start doing the stuff they doing just in association, man. So I just made sure I was by myself, and I think I talked to you about that. That time in solitude gives you some time, gives you a chance to know who you are and what you really want. It ain't no social media for me to take the goals that they put on a post or they make my goals. It gave me time to sit down with myself and say, who are you for real? What do you really like? What do you value? And I think that time gave me the chance to do it. So graduated and everything, and then went to I had to go to JUCO to play ball because I had went through everything, played JUCO ball, tried to transfer. He actually helped me. There was a school you were trying to, I can't even remember that. There was another school I was trying to transfer from JUCO, and I can't remember. I talked to him about it, but I ended up coming back here to Indiana Tech and playing and played 2 years here, still had it one more year, but I just was, like, I didn't lose the love. I just was ready to figure what my purpose was. So I did my last year of school just to make sure I graduated, man. It still worked out like an athlete. I still do to this day, like an athlete. I trained Bishop Dwenger High School, man, basketball team, and I literally just did a hill workout, and I'm out there running it. That's me. I'm a hard worker.
That's your energy, man.
Yeah, so I think Jay was saying, you know, my whole life I've worked hard through adversity to get stuff done and do it in a positive way. And I think that's just literally, that's what I'm teaching kids. You come to me, man, for training. It ain't comb drill. You get all that. But you coming to me for leadership. You coming to me for work ethic, attention to detail. You coming to me for character, discipline. That's what you pay for with me. You ain't paying for drill. The drills are that. I can handle that. We can do all that, but you can get that other places too. You know what I'm saying? My stuff is different, but the biggest difference are those things. It's the character development.
Man, that's lovely. That's some knowledge that we all need to take in and understand. Like the basketball is just a tool.
It's a vehicle.
You know, and for us to utilize that to get our babies into that area to better them as young men. And I feel
and young women.
And young women.
Y'all ain't gonna keep leaving me out like that.
You're not gonna do that. Yeah, being inspired. I know you. I think you just hit it on the nose. Like, it's so many kids that look up to some guys that hoop, and if they do the wrong thing outside of that rectangle, they're gonna follow that aspect too. I used to watch you and Suge and Trace hoop. And I used to be like, and I drop dimes, and that's what you do. So I was like, that was a part of me looking up to you, for real, for real. That was a part of me looking up to you. And then I seen that y'all was all positive outside of that, making stuff. That's the inspiring somebody.
Right.
So all the shirts I was saying I forgot that I got for y'all, majority of my True Fit shirts say inspire somebody.
Right.
It's the greatest thing you can do on this earth for me is inspire somebody else to do something positive.
What? Interview over. He done forgot our shirts. What?
I forgot.
Yes,
My word, I won't
man. I'm at North Clinton tomorrow.
Please do. If you please stop. I got y'all. My word.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So Shalante hit it on the nail too. You know, as far as like when I know you have females doing training with you over there, or is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
So you know, let's not. You know,
we
gotta keep them in the loop of things because they also need our assistance and
leadership and as well. Like,
I mean, if you want to be honest, anybody in my gym I say it weekly. Girls work harder than boys.
Oh yeah,
girls work harder. Just 3 years ago, I just transitioned. I was like 65, 35, 65% girls, about 35% boys training with me, literally, and then they all graduated, which made me dig into, as a business move, made me dig into the younger kids more. I still love them more now that I done got into them. I love that a little more to deal with that bottom line, and I can create that foundation.
Yeah, because you're creating that.
Yes, I ain't got to break them habits. Right. You know what I'm saying? Some of them habits. Yeah.
And you can see it with your groups. I think your fifth graders, they won the championship.
Yeah, the fifth graders did. Yep, or fourth going to fifth technically.
Yeah, the fourth graders won and the fifth graders came runner up.
Yeah, they didn't. They just played. They didn't. They just came. They actually, so to show how I teach, they actually went 0-3. We lost every game by a total of all our games. We lost about 10 total on all of them, like 2, about 5.
Yeah.
So every game, but man, the way they played, I don't judge no scoreboard. Right. Don't look at no score. I don't remember one scoreboard from when I was 10 or 11. Like, that ain't what but all the lessons I got. They played so hard. We was down 28-6 in the first quarter. We lost by 3 at the end. Like, dog stuff. That's what I'm trying to teach. That transfers to life. We can win trophies and not learn nothing if we press all day or just to win. That ain't what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? So I want to win now.
Breath of fresh air. Look, all this stuff sound familiar, don't it? You know, hey, that's the thing, man. Them seeds, man. I ain't saying hey, you got it from us or whatnot, but somewhere you got the message. You hear the message. You know, we've talked about right here. Using your sport, not letting your sport use you.
Right.
That's what you talk about.
That's so big.
Wins and losses at this age, man, please. That's about If y'all play hard, do what you're supposed to do. That's the lesson.
That's
you know. And then I'm gonna say, hey, you left one thing off too when you talk about girls. You said they play hard. Girls listen.
Yes, they do.
They listen more.
We
more
coachable.
They're more coachable.
You know, when I coach girls and boys, that's, you know, people ask, I think I got a quote somewhere out there. They say, what's the difference between coaching girls and boys? I said, hey, girls do exactly what you tell them, which is a blessing and a curse.
Right.
They're going to do exactly what you tell them. You know, guys, you always got the next, you know, we got LeBron, Steph, whatever the next one is. They kind of half listening to you, but they're going to do it their way. You know, girls, they want that guidance. And thinking of the NBA, I gotta ask you this because I think I said something to you in passing, but hey, the draft for your 303. Who idea was that, man? That was the coldest idea.
The little three, the big little three.
Yeah, hey, they had the NBA. They patterned after the NBA draft, man. Who idea was that? Speak to that night.
It was I am a visionary. I am. My weakness is coordinating it all. So that's why I'm grateful for my wife. She make all that. She make the coordinated happen. But in relationships, obviously, I'm good in relationships. But that was my vision, man. I just look at ways. I'm trying to find ways to expose, even though them kids ain't in my thing, in my nonprofit. Like I'm still trying to expose y'all to different type of like atmospheres and different experiences. So when that experience come, like I'm already comfortable in that. I don't have to stutter. I don't have to, like, I'm comfortable in that scene. And I seen it there. I was like, you know what? I'm about to do so. I was just looking for something different to keep the kids interested. Like, as hard as I coach kids and train kids, I got to make sure they're interested or to push them away.
Yeah.
So I just was looking for something, man, that was different. And the way it all, I keep saying it, God.
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like I'm, you know, but it's God did it. I sat down and literally I just start writing it. And the first thing I wrote, Jay, the first time, like everything I jotted is what we did there. We didn't have to go back and read it, so I know it was God because I ain't that smart of a dude. You know what I'm saying? It was God, just like, and it was, man, everything panned out. The night I had to announce all the kids. I was like, man, I don't know if I can announce 70 kids. My voice didn't break. I didn't stutter. It was just, I was like, this it. It's what happened when you do God's work. So
I was going to say, continue to put God in the midst of things and everything come out all right.
100%.
You know? Hey, how did you do your development in your 3-on-3 basketball league? Is it during this basketball season, or is it?
I do it 3 times a year.
Okay.
I do it 3 times a year, so like in periods. But
3 the best number.
3 the best. I've seen. But yeah, we do it. So we have another one coming up September 7th, and they all go 6 weeks long. Okay. 6 or 7 in summer. They go 7 weeks.
Okay.
And then after that, we take 7, 8, or 9 weeks off. And then they all train 2 days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. 7
to 9 weeks.
Yeah, we in the train, like training camp type thing. So we in the train.
The development.
Yep. Well, we develop within the league. They do 30 minutes of training, and then their games are about 35 minutes. We do 2 14 or 15-minute quarters depending on their age.
How many teams do you normally put in there at a time?
We usually get, for the past, so this is our 14th session. It's my 14th time doing it. Okay. So it range anywhere from 50 to about 70 kids each time. Okay. So I usually go about 3 or 4 hours, and we play half court because it's 3-on-3, and then there's 2 teams on each end.
Gotcha.
So we end up getting about 4, 8, 12 teams or 16 teams each time.
And how can people get involved with that if you get room for that?
It's on our website, truefishsport.com. It's actually the first pop-up. It's aside from T Miles initiative, man, that's my second love because those are the kids, man, and I know they're the next one. So it's the first pop-up on our website, man. And you know, I throw this out, and I throw it out cautiously, but being here, I know, you know, it's a comfort space, man. Like, I do scholarships. Sometimes it's people from where I was from and grew up where I was and families was, and they ain't got it, so they look at it like, man, them prices. And it's like, if you really just reach out, man, that's what this is for. T Miles paid for this, literally. My cousin paid for this with his time with y'all, and now God bless us with some finances through it that I can scholarship kids that can't afford it. So some of the families that I and people know that about me, but if they come in and they don't have it, man, I don't ever want finances to be a reason why a kid can't reach their potential or reach for it per se too. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's this knowledge right there. You know, I appreciate that, and also to the community. If you want your child to be a part of something that's positive, you need to reach out to Brice and Mr. Miles, Coach Miles, however you want to say it. You want to reach out to them and really do the things to be successful, man. I really appreciate the things that you brought to the table, man. But I want y'all to give him a couple more questions before we get out of here.
We got a couple more questions. I know we're gonna wrap it up, but caveat: you want your kid to go somewhere that's gonna get an honest opinion, honest assessment. That's where you go. You want to, to work hard, like you said. This girl being right now that hey, big complainer, man. Brice had to do a leg. Yeah, so he's serious.
He doing it with you though, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel like, you know.
For sure.
That's what you say, but I'm talking that you got cats my age, his age. They're like, man. But
you working out dudes their age?
Yeah, I got a bunch of guys, man, and my men's, like I said, I got men's classes like 50. It's intimate. My wife's is big. She about 60, 70 ladies, but my men is 14, 15 guys, and they come in 3-4 days a week at 6 a.m. and we just get after it.
That is dope, man.
And you see how fast he talking. You see that energy.
That's how he be. No. So
I was trying to be calm. I thought I was calm.
he got that energy all the time.
So that's who you. I'm telling you, that's who you at work out.
Ready to go.
You better wake up when you
all time. 6 in the morning. We at 6.
He said,
Literally
wake
at 6 a.m. We
That's
getting it.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
He's screaming at you too. He loud. I know, man.
And I create a brotherhood in there. I got some guys that, some big guys in the community, some big guys in this city that come. And honestly, I got some guys that needed to be humbled that come in there. That's so high, and not intentionally they're that high, but society or whatever have put them in that pedestal, and unintentionally it can get in your head like that. And I get the text, not brag, I get them texts all the time on how grateful it is to have somebody, because everybody's a yes man to them.
Yeah.
I ain't no yes man to nobody. They know that. Not on no disrespect. They just like, I need somebody to push me and get in my butt and not be okay with me cheating something because of my status. And it's like, your money don't make my money, and money don't move me like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I love once again, I just love inspiring people, man. And the more I work on myself, T Miles' number one thing in the group is growing people, grow people. The more I'm growing, the more I can grow people. The more I'm around cats that's growing, the more I'm going to grow.
Right.
Even being here today make me feel like, man, I got to not one up, but I got to keep leveling up, because stuff like this is what make young cats aspire to do great stuff. But if
Looking
they see minimal, I mean, I see even this. Like, when you heard me, I walked in, I was like, this is dope. This is dope, man.
Bruh, check it out. Ryan Woodson been on there, and I mean, that's the NFL Network and everything else. And I mean, impressed. People from the news channels been here, impressed. This is, I mean, it is everything. I appreciate the opportunity to sit out here and be able to talk with folks.
That's the greatest thing right there, is just to be able to be comfortable and feel comfortable and feel proud of what we're doing, to have somebody like you in our seat, having a conversation of something positive that the community can take and use, man.
For sure.
Now I got a question. Now the foundation, is that for athletes, or is that just for any young person that may be an at-risk youth? Somebody, if I got a son and I'm loving what I'm hearing, can I just, he don't do no sports.
Right.
Can he be a part?
Not a lick. I got 2 guys in there that don't play no sports.
Okay.
Don't think about no sports.
Right.
Because we don't even do no sports in this. Like, if we go somewhere, we might, out of town, we might play something as a group, but it has nothing to do with sports-based whatsoever. 0%.
Yeah.
It is all about personal development in there. So, and I don't even like, I love, at risk is very true. Like, some people that say, don't use it, it's still true.
Yeah.
Whether you want me to use the word at risk or not, it's still true.
It's
I just try to say they underserved. Like, that's all it is. I just feel like some of them they ain't served as good as some of the other guys that got it. So I'm going to make sure the playing field going to be as even as possible. You mess around with me.
I think that's one of the reasons why we love bringing people on the show like you, who believe in our young people, and it's not about the money. It's not about the show or anything. It's just about developing our babies and making them more positive and doing the right thing, man.
Yeah, trying to get them to tune in to that stuff. Because some of these kids, some people be like, they bad, or they talk too much, or man, he playing too much in class. It's like, bro, he gonna be a comedian. How about you see that in him instead of saying he bad? I hear him like he bad. I'm like, man, bro, how about he just don't know how to channel that energy? And that's his only way is in class. But if we can get him to see that that's what he's great at, it's like, bro, I know you play too much in class, but how about you chill in class and then you play too much in front of a camera and see if you can make some money?
Hey.
That's just a different perspective. I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Make him go,
Like, hold up, maybe you're right. Yeah, that kid that talk too much, it's like maybe he need to be a newscaster or a lawyer or something instead of y'all telling him he talk too much. You know what I'm saying? So
he just said, let me get my butt back in this classroom. Take off and fly. Give it back to him. So what's the website for the foundation?
The foundation is tmilesyouth.com.
Okay.
tmilesyouth.com. Yep.
Make sure. Okay.
Yep. And then the other one's True Fit Sport and Fitness. But I mean, I think people know about, as in the community know about True Fit Sport and Fitness. I'm glad you asked that, because that's what I want. I want people to see the stuff we doing with these kids, and I want more people in it. I don't need 800 kids.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use these 15 and they just be branches. 15 got 15 kids that they've inspired themselves. So that's why I keep it small and intimate like that. They all like not handpicked, but like I don't post stuff for people to just come in. I barely post it at all. Social media really ain't my thing, so I ain't posting what we doing. I'm just doing the work.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I just feel like God just gonna bring them, but I would love people to check it out so they can see what's going on, so they can get it. I want more,
So
but I want to make sure I serve.
I got a question. Like, is it a time frame that you could be in the program? Like, so like I've been in it for 2 years. We gotta get somebody else to turn. Or
Nah, they in it. They in it.
Okay,
Yep,
okay.
they in it. We don't cut it off, but it's supposed to stop. It'll take you to your freshman year in college.
Okay.
And then from there you come be like a coach.
So
you're
you
a mentor. You're a mentor.
You're a mentor at that point.
you're moving them on to college.
Yes.
That
Or
group.
their trade.
Got you.
You ain't got
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think you
that.
gotta
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Whatever your
yeah.
trade is,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help you, or I'm gonna surround you around some cats I know in that trade to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Branch
saying?
into that
Expose you.
environment.
Because I remember that's what we did with you guys.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
we worked
Okay.
all the way
He said
to.
he's taking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
I'm glad
We
for all that.
that's what our goal was when we started in the 7th, 8th grade, was to move them on to the next level.
Yes.
And that's a hard task.
Yeah.
You know, because you get so many things in the community and in their life that take them in a
Separate.
different direction.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like that's a blessing that you get an opportunity to take 13 all the way through
Yeah.
to junior to freshman college,
Yeah.
and you know they're gonna be successful.
And you know they're gonna come back and talk about
That's
it.
what they've been.
Man.
Because man, you know, even when people come back and say, "Man, I'm so glad I was with you on this,"
Yeah.
or I wish I would have did
Yeah.
something that you told me to do. You know, it's like, you know, that's what you want to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because then that means
That's how you know you
learn.
reached. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing
definitely.
that thing. Word.
Yeah.
Yup, that's big. They say that too. Like, you can tell a coach by its students. You can tell what type of coach you have by its students. If I'm using me and Jay, I know I keep using it, but that was a big influence for me.
Yeah.
Whether
Mm-hmm.
people out here know it or not, I know inside.
Right.
But like, and we just talking basketball. Like,
Right.
I'm a dog. I'm a dog on the court. I'm dropped to this day. I drop dime still, but I've learned from Jay. So okay, go watch Jay play then, and watch you be like, oh, he a dog, and then it's like that was my teacher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want
Yeah.
that same thing outside of the court with these cats. Like, man, this kid's a great kid. He know how to speak. He's good. It's good. And it's like, who's your coach, or your
Yeah.
life coach?
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
can tell
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh yeah, I could tell he must
Yeah.
be because this student.
Yeah.
I don't care how good I am, if it ain't reflecting in them young cats,
Yeah.
I'm really wasting time, or
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a platform for the bread.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this one out before we shut it
okay.
down. Before we shut it down, who the better one, you or your son?
And what? In basketball?
Yeah.
Right now, me. I just told my brother the other day, no exaggeration. My brother came in town and played him 1-on-1, and he's 10 years old, bro. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he was still like body size and all
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
like handle and
Yeah.
shit, like he know everything that I know. I've taught it.
Yeah.
But I was like about 9th or 10th grade, I'm going to probably stop doing the 1-on-1s, because you ain't about to be beating me.
You got to at least 50. Hey, JJ when I was 54.
You was going at him. Yeah. I'm talking about blood battles. You know?
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did that.
Cause I see on the off the TV, he
Man.
like me.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
one.
taught you that. I taught him that though. Like, feel that way. I don't care if you know it's somebody that happened to be better than you. You gonna have to show everybody in here that you better than me. I'm not
Right.
just gonna bag down because you
Right.
bigger or
Right.
whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
That's how
Right.
we built that way.
Right.
And I'm gonna make sure that reflects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If somebody writes something up about my son, which they have, if you write, I guarantee something says he's the definition of a dog and toughness and grit.
Yeah.
Like the skill stuff we got, that's everywhere. But there's that. But I want you to be separated by that stuff because that's the stuff that's important in life when you're going
Correct.
through adversity. So,
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, look, before you get us out of here, Brian Gumble, I'm just saying, man. Again, I want to say it. I said on national TV, hey, proud of you, man.
Thank
you.
Again, where you
Definitely.
came from, where you had, like I said, on the court, off the court,
Yeah.
family man, community man, business owner, man, that's great testament.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
hey, I was messing with him a little bit. They just said you was coming on today, so I had nothing to do with it. They just sent it out today.
yeah, that's
I
crazy.
said, who is that?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who is
I
that?
was like-
When they said that, I was humble. Like, Jay know who I didn't give him the whole
Oh, they
spiel.
told you?
They said it. They were like, right? He said it. I was like, I ain't even about to tell him all about that.
But ask him what I told him.
What he
Oh,
said?
he said that because he had a typo. Instead of saying hardy, he said harden, hard in.
Oh my
I
God.
said, where's harden at?
So-
Yeah, that's like in that message. Look,
Sidebar. You had to put that out. No. Hey, I just want to say, God is good. God is great, man, and continue to do blessed things in the community, and continue to bless us with your presence, man. May God bless us.
Bless.